It's an interesting and challenging job for the maintenance officer of Blue Angels. You know, I'm lucky enough to work with the best and brightest men and women we have in the fleet. Everyone that applies to this team wants to be here, and it has been a fun and unique experience. I didn't know that much about the Navy and naval aviation when I joined the Navy. It was just one of those things I knew I wasn't ready for college, so I wanted to find something else, and the Navy really intrigued me about just getting out and seeing the world. And I was fortunate enough that on my way to pick my job in the Navy, the recruiter told me that he was an AT. I didn't know what that was, but he said, I fixed the airplanes and I get to go fly in them. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So I said, sure. And luckily enough, that job was available. So when I signed up and off to boot camp I went in December. And it wasn't really, I didn't find out what the aviation rate was until I got to Pensacola. After leaving Pensacola in June, I checked into VFA-105 in Cecil Field, the Gunslingers, and immediately went on deployment. About 6 months later, I checked in and they said, don't unpack your sea bags, we're going on workups. So I went on the USS Enterprise and then went on to combat deployments in the 105 with Desert Fox, and then I stayed with them for Operation Iraqi Freedom. Picked up Chief and LDO, and luckily enough, my first duty station was VFA-34, and there was, on my CAGMO, was Manny Sanchez. He was a former Mo of the Blue Angels who really inspired me to join the team. I also had my DCAG and CAG was Pepper McCoy. I had Rob Curley, the number 3-4 pilot. So I was just around the Blue Angels. That was my drive. Ever since I got commissioned as an ensign, this was what I wanted to do. So I am living my dream job right now. It's a fun experience, but it comes with a unique set of challenges that you don't see in the fleet. Because with a maintenance officer, working logistics, making sure that everything is laid out correctly and just helping everything in the background so everything goes smoothly, so the demo goes off without a hitch. And it really, it's nothing more important that I do. It's really the credit to the men and women that are downstairs and even upstairs, making the show happen. I checked in the Squadron on September 11th in 2019. I was off to the races from there. We had a week to kind of indoctrination on just the general Blue Angel things, and then we hit the road. And we flew out to winter training and hit the ground running. And first thing in the morning, Aaron, Doc Hicks and I would get up, meet at 5:10 in the morning, and we go into work. At 6:30, we were over at the admin building, getting our first brief of the day, and then we'd head up to the desert. And sometimes we wouldn't get back until 1800, 6 o'clock at night. So we'd spend all day out in the desert. We got the chance to work with the Thunderbirds, which was a very monumentous experience. They came out for winter training in 2020, basically because they needed a place to practice. So they want to come out and kind of see El Centro and see how we do everything, got our processes down. So they came out and visited with us, and really we didn't know what kind of fruits would bear from that tree being planted with working with them. Their maintenance officer, Mike Bell, I talked to him at least once a month. He sent me an awesome note starting off this season, so we have a good relationship. The season definitely threw us a curveball with COVID. I feel bad for our number 8 for events. He would just set everything up, and it just every show would just kind of fall off the schedule, and we would just watch it as dominoes. And we just, at the end of the day, we kind of knew that the show for the 2020 season wasn't going to happen. And it's unfortunate, but I think it was the right move. And it's just one of those things that we had to watch out for, not only the team, but the general public too. Out of COVID came the Operation America Strong, which I think, it was something that was our little part that we could do for the American public for what they were going through. They were flying 7-hour missions at some point for the first one, and then they flew over New York and Boston. It was a long flight, and we had to make sure that if a plane had to divert for whatever reason, we had the logistics on the ground. So I worked with the Navy and the Marine Corps and the Air Force to have a C-17 or a C-130 ready to go, loaded up with what we needed to go fix that aircraft. So fortunately enough, we hit 100% and we never had to have a jet divert, which was an amazing, and again, it's a testament to what the men and women do and what they put their hearts into to make sure these aircraft are safe. So they flew some very long missions to make it happen. My personal connection, being from Texas, I asked boss if I could jump in the back of the 2-jet since I know we were going to be flying over Dallas and actually my hometown of Richardson, Texas. So I was lucky enough to get in the back seat with Deuce, James Haley, the number 2 pilot. Just being out there supporting on the hospital, and it was one of those, like, you know, just cheering. We were going over for 30 seconds, just flying around the city, but they were out there and cheering. My dad passed away before I joined the Navy, or when I joined the Navy, and we got to share a little bit of a Blue Angel experience at the IMAX Theater before he passed. And I got to circle not only where I grew up with my church, but also down where he dropped me off at the MEP station downtown Dallas. So we got to circle that. So it was something that was really powerful for me. What we do, what this crest means, just to not only the people that are on the team, but to the people that are on the ground. That I got messages from my friends and nurses and doctors and just general public. They're like, "Oh, this is awesome. This is exactly what we needed. So thank you." So it's great that just it's something that we have as a passion for everybody to see. At the end of the 2020 season, we were fortunate enough to be able to transition out of the Legacy Hornet into the Super Hornet and the C-130J. The Boeing Cecil Field team, they took all these jets that probably hadn't flown, in some of them, in 10, 12 years, that were just not meant to really see the fleet again. And they did an amazing job getting these things turned around and out to us. So we accepted our first Super Hornet in the summer, and then we had a couple other ones show up, onesie twosies, in August, and we were actually able to put on, start to fly them. We also got the C-130J, which is my passion project. I didn't know how much I would love a C-130 until we actually got to work on one, and it is just an amazing machine and an amazing plane. After we just transitioned and we were tasked to fly over the Army-Navy game, we had 6 aircraft. And I told boss, boss, I'd like to have 7 in order for us to commit. And he said, I agree, but we're gonna do it with 6. I said, yes, sir, boss. We were supposed to do the flyover for our Navy game on a Saturday. Wednesday, they come to me and they say, Mo, we got a problem. Okay, can't be that bad, what is it? We have a hole in the cockpit floor. We think that when the seat was lowered, seatbelt buckle was under and it punched a hole in the floor. It's like, okay, well, now we have 5 jets, we'll figure this out. I called a couple of people and eventually got to the XO at FRC, and I told her, said, this is what the problem is, this is the tasking, and this is what I need. And I said, I will have Fat Albert fly out to Jacksonville. I need an artisan. I need the person to basically make sure that the damage didn't exceed anything. I need the engineers to basically write it up and say, this is how we need to move forward. Thursday morning, we flew out to Jacksonville, picked up everyone, flew them back out, and something that probably should have taken three weeks in the fleet, they had it done and had our jet ready to go for the Army-Navy game in 2 days. Not only just the support that we have, in the Blue Angels, but just around naval aviation was it was huge. We maintain 11 aircraft plus a C-130 with about 100 people. For 100 men and women in the maintenance department, which is a very slimmed down maintenance department. You're talking to people in the fleet. When they go on deployments, they're going out there with almost close to 200 people in a squadron, where on a daily basis, we're on the road, we only have 45 people to maintain 7 aircraft to get them up ready for the flight schedule. We're learning every day, and I think that's one thing that makes this organization great is, we don't rest on our laurels. That every day we're going back to the brief and the debrief, and we're gonna say, you know what? I didn't make the best decision here, I'm gonna fix it and do it again. So I think just I have grown so much personally, and due to just the nature of this job, the people that I get to work around. You know, we have all these great, talented sailors and Marines that, you know, I'm fortunate enough to work with, that it just elevates your game. And if you're not trying to stay ahead and try to at least keep treading water with these rock stars, then you're just going to fall behind quicker and quicker every day. To be a part of an organization that is so special, that we're being the oldest flight demonstration team in the United States, is just, I pinch myself every day.